Yes, I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. What's good, my fellow peasants? How you all doing? My hype level, oh man, my hype level is so fucking high right now. I am like on a high of hype. So I did my Final Fantasy 15 theory video. That was the last video I did on FF7 weapons, the planet's weapons, Gaia's weapons, diamond weapon, etc, etc, summons, villains, etc, etc. If you haven't seen that video yet, go watch it, as it's pretty much the foundation video to this one, the sister video, mother video, whatever you want to call it, a follow-on. So no sooner had I done that video and you magnificent bastards came out and supported, tweaked, built upon, added to the premise that I'd laid out in that video, sort of the theories I put out, and it was awesome, man. It's just too awesome that I had to cover it in another video, and not just one video. I'm going to do it in 3 parts. This is the first part, so start here. I'm going to do it in 3 parts because from that video 3 main theories emerged, or 3 fucking dope theories in my opinion. I'm going to cover them all, and I was going to do them in one big video, kind of what I did with that mother video, but I kind of want each theory to get its own sort of video so it can get its own likes and dislikes. Each theory can get talked about sort of individually. So I covered weapons, and that's where at the start in the last video, that's where I'm going to start now. Might as well do it chronologically. In the last video I started off by pointing out diamond weapon. That is diamond weapon, no question asked, appearing in the Kingsglaive trailer. I then went on to try to look for other summons and pointed out that the one on the far left looked most like a mega weapon with the flat top head. I then pointed out or the second one, but I'm just going to skip across to the third one, the one on the far right. I weren't too sure on that at first. I thought ultimate, then I said ruby weapon, but I wasn't too sure because it had the small head, the slit eyes, and the spike under the chin, and I said, oh man, you know, if that was on top of the head, that would be ruby weapon. Well, you guys came out, you magnificent motherfuckers, and you pointed out, I mean, there was a few of you, Jewelverse, Killtech, Fool's Guy. Man, I'm name dropping the shit out of all of you guys. I'm sure more of you pointed it out. That looks exactly like Sapphire weapon. Sapphire weapon from Final Fantasy VII. I completely fucking forgot about Sapphire weapon. Oh, and David Russell as well. You pointed it out as well, mate. Not gonna leave you out. You pointed out this Sapphire weapon. I call myself a Final Fantasy VII fanboy. I completely forgot about Sapphire weapon. Absolutely spot on. Spot on, guys. That is Sapphire weapon. Holy shit. No questions asked. I am almost now convinced at this point, on top of the fact that that looks very much like Emerald. It really does, but I've also got a second theory on that. So that may or may not be Emerald. I'm going to be covering back to this picture in my next video. But going back to this one, the game case. So on the left, I thought Omega. On the right, I'm actually convinced that is now Sapphire weapon. And in the middle, I weren't too sure. I was hedging my bets. I kind of said it might be Jade. Is it a weird variation of diamond? I'm not quite seeing right. And then I said 10. It was most likely to me, if they was going to cross the franchise, to be ultimate weapon from 10. And I said in my last video that if they were to do the weapons, I would think they would keep it to Final Fantasy VII and keep it to the same universe. And it was only after I said that, after I uploaded the video, that it fucking clicked in my head. All those rumours that we've had for years, and no, I'm just speculating here, guys. There were rumours for years that Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII shared universes, and it only clicked after I did that video. So the fact I was thinking that most looks like a Final Fantasy X weapon to me, man, that can't be no mere coincidence. That really can't be a mere coincidence. And there's more than one weapon in Final Fantasy X that looks like that. Now those theories, in case you don't know, about 10 and 7 sharing the same universes, that was based on a number of things. There was Shinra in 10, a kid who, an inventor type, who is looking for an alternative method of fuel, looking for new energy sources. That's quite a main thing around Shinra in Final Fantasy X, and then obviously in Final Fantasy VII you have a guy called Shinra who is the head of an energy company, a Mako company, that alternative fuel source. There was other things as well, things like the Far Plane in Final Fantasy X, a place where you can go and see loved ones. Final Fantasy VII kind of had a similar thing. You know, you see it with Cloud. He goes to a far planey kind of place, and where he gets to speak to Aerith and Zack. So how the universes work, there were many other things, or many other theories, bits of detail that connected or theorized that the universe of 10 and 7 were connected. I won't go into all of them, but they were there. And I only realized that after I made the point about that weapon, just pointing that out. Now that leaves the question as to why the weapons are in the universe of Final Fantasy 15. Why are they there? Now I speculated that in my last video. I came up with a theory, my sort of idea, and once again you guys just helped me evolve on it. You helped me improve it, and man, this is dope. This is fucking dope. So I theorized that if the weapons were being used in the same context as 7, they would only be getting summoned when the life of the planet is in danger. Because essentially, the weapons in 7 are guardians of the planet. Now, in Final Fantasy 15 at E3, this recent E3, there was a 15 questions done, and one of the questions was, were the summons, did they have allegiance to nations? And Tabata came out and said, no, the summons don't have allegiance to nations directly. They don't answer to people. They're not guardians of nations. They are guardians of the world. Now that doesn't completely discredit the fact that certain towns have emblems of astrals, or they pay homage, or their culture is kind of based around the astral. It still makes sense that every nation would pay homage to their local astral, or sort of be influenced by their local astral, but they don't actually control the astral's allegiance. Astral being what Tabata seems to be calling these, the summons, they seem to be getting called astrals in FF15. So they don't control the allegiance of the astrals. The astrals are guardians of the planet. Now that kind of begs the question of, okay, well, if the summons are the guardians of the planet, then surely these weapons can't. So what the fuck are these weapons? And the only answer that I can come up with, the only answer that makes absolutely any sense, is that they're not guardians, but they're actually invaders. The weapons are invaders of the planet. Holy shit. Tinfoil hat is fully engaged. We are getting deep. What if they are actually invaders? Now, we know that Luna is an oracle. This is kind of what supports my theory. We know Luna is an oracle, and that the oracles are charged with holding back the Plague of the Star. I covered this in my last video. Now, Plague of the Star, let's focus on that. Now, that is clearly something extraterrestrial. That is something from outer space. That is a comet, a meteor, something. Every game puts a spin on what it's called. Where else have we heard sort of a quirky name given to something that came from outer space? I'm gonna say it, if you don't know already. Calamity from the heavens, calamity from the skies, sorry. That was from FF7. That was the comet in Final Fantasy VII. That was Jenova. She came down on a meteor, and she was described as the calamity from the skies. Now, what if the weapons are the exact same weapons from FF7? I mean the exact, as in literally connected, plot related and everything. Not just, I would like to think that Square Enix haven't just thrown the weapons in there. Because you can't just get away with it. You can't just throw the weapons in there and just say, oh yeah, we just use the character models of the weapons. No, there has to be something connecting this. And I theorize that What if Gaia has somehow travelled to Eos as a destroyed planet, and now the weapons that were once Gaia's weapons, they now need a new planet. Gaia has died, Gaia has travelled through the cosmos, and they are now trying to take Eos for their own. What would they struggle, or what would they fight against? What would oppose them? What would awaken to stop them? Of course, Eos's guardians. We know them now to be the Summons, the Astrals. That is what Tabitha has confirmed. It makes sense, because that also then explains, why do the Summons talk directly to Noctis's head? Why are they awakening in the first place? Perhaps they're arriving because of this new arrival from the Plague of the Star. Or they know it's coming, and that is why they are setting Noctis up. They are speaking to him, and they are laying up events. And this is the scarily exciting part. What was the last thing we ever heard Sephiroth say he wanted to do?
Is to sail the darkness of the cosmos with this planet as my vessel. Just as my mother did long ago.
That's right, he wanted to take Gaia for his own and use it as a vessel to travel the cosmos. That is what he said. That was the last thing we ever heard Sephiroth say before Cloud got a lucky striking on him. Well, it weren't lucky, I mean, he pulled off a sick move. Man, I ain't gonna take Cloud's victory from him. Sorry, you were getting battered half the fight, but you fucking won fair and square. Now, we know that Sephiroth and Jenova, even after that Cloud battle at the end of Advent Children, we still know that Sephiroth and Jenova are not truly defeated, that they will always linger on in the live stream. Sephiroth says he will never just be a memory. What if this is the result of their success? What if Sephiroth was victorious? What if he actually did control Gaia in the end, and after hundreds of years, thousands of years? I mean, how long can Cloud realistically hold him back before he took control of Gaia and used it as a vessel to travel the cosmos? And the Plague of the Star is the husk, a destroyed husk of the planet Gaia, and it's travelled to Eos, and it's landed upon Eos, and it unleashes the weapons of Gaia onto Final Fantasy 15. Oh, that would be absolutely dope, man. That would be too dope for my brain to even comprehend if that is the reason why the weapons are appearing in Final Fantasy 15. And there has to be a reason. There has to be something. No, I don't believe for 1 minute that Square Enix are using the exact same character models as the weapons. I mean, the exact same models, and they're just using them for the sake of it. There has to be something there. There has to be something connecting it. And if it's not that, if it's not, Sephiroth was victorious, he managed to take control of Gaia and use it as his vessel to travel the cosmos as him and Jenova set out to do. If it's not that, then it only leaves two other options. One, Gaia and Eos, whatever they're calling it, whatever its pronunciation, I'm bad with names. Gaia and Eos are the same planet. The same planet, and the weapons never did any kind of planet hop whatsoever. That's the only other option that it could be. And if not that, the third option is that it all happened before. If it didn't happen after the events of Advent Children and Final Fantasy VII, then it must have happened before. And that, guys, opens a whole new can of worms. If the weapons never truly originated from Gaia, from the universe of FF7, that's the only other option it could be. That they first went to Eos and somehow found a way to travel from Eos to Gaia. Now, what do we know? In the history of Final Fantasy, the only time anything ever came down from the skies, 2,000 years prior to the event of FF7, that's right, the meteor, the calamity from the skies. Now, how could the weapons do that? How could the weapons leave Eos and travel to Gaia? Well, we know that Luna, as an oracle, has control over stopping the Plague of the Star. Whatever this extraterrestrial force is, the oracles have power over it. So I theorize, full tin hat mode here, that Luna used her powers to control the plague of the star to save Eos, somehow find a way to get the weapons and onto the plague of the star, this extraterrestrial force, and shoot them away from Eos. What if she finds a way to do it? What if that is the only way to save Eos, is she has to sacrifice herself? What if the only way to get the weapons off of Eos is she has to use her powers of over the plague of the star to take the weapons from Eos by going along with them? Perhaps she has to seal herself, maybe she has to join with the plague of the star. And you know what that would mean? That would mean then that Luna also travelled with the weapons to Gaia to save Eos, and that would mean that Luna was Jenova! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh god, literally my heart is fucking racing right now. That is the only other option. Either the weapons land after the events and Sephiroth is victorious, Sephiroth won, Cloud and the team loses, he travels the cosmos. It's either that, Eos and Gaia are the same planet, or Luna is fucking Jenova. It's one of those three, guys. I'm open to any other option. Please, if anyone else has any other answer, has any other logical explanation of how FF7 weapons are appearing in Eos in the world of Final Fantasy 15, I am all ears. I am absolutely all ears. But those three options are appearing the most logical. They are appearing to me the only way that this could be connected. The only explanation as to how the weapons are appearing. And honestly, no matter which one of those three is, that is absolutely epic. That is epicness of epic proportions. And my hype level for this game has gone from 100 to over 9,000. Moving on to the next video now, guys. The term I want you to take away from this, because of those three theories, the one I'm most gravitating towards, or the one that makes the most sense of those three options, is, we know it's ingrained in lore, it's been confirmed, it's the plague of the star that brings the darkness to Eos, and it's the oracles that halt that. So we know that at some point Luna in the game must be getting prevented from doing her job as an oracle, that the plague of the star does manage to get to Eos, and that is why I'm most gravitating towards the option that is when this plague of the star arrives and it covers Eos in darkness, that is when the weapons of Gaia disembark and appear on Eos. And what would answer that threat? Like I said, if they are invaders, the ones who would answer that threat would be the Summons, the ones who have been recently at this E3 confirmed as guardians of the planet. So this is a term I want you to remember going into the next video, because I'm finished on this one. This was fucking awesome, this theory. I love it. I really hope this one is true. Just because I'm an FF7 fanboy, this is the one I'd be most hyped about, but they do get better from here on out, the theories. But I want you to remember this term, summons versus weapons. Move on to the next video. Don't fucking hesitate. Go. Go. Fucking go.